Hi, welcome to Alaskan and Thailand. Today I thought I'd talk about picking a country that's safe to be in. A lot of these countries we're going to now, like here in Thailand right now, they're having a war going on, it seems like, between Cambodia and Thailand here. Been a border dispute for hundreds of years. I guess the French drew up the border years ago, back in like 1911, and there's some temples that are in question, and every so many years they start a skirmish back up for these fighting over these temples. And just recently, you guys probably heard on the news that they from what I've been able to understand, Cambodia launched some artillery rounds into Thailand and took out a 7-Eleven of all things. I guess it looks like they're targeting civilians. They hit a school maybe, or a clinic or something, hospital. And I believe 10 people have died. Thailand retaliated. They brought in the F-16s. They escalated that right up to there to, we ain't taking this. So yeah, they sent in a couple of F-16s and dumped some rounds. I don't know if I haven't heard anybody reported dead from that or not, but yeah, it's not a good thing. Hopefully it de-escalates here. I think maybe China's getting involved and trying to calm things down, but that's one thing you always got to consider when you're trying to move away into a foreign country. Is it politically stable? Is the government stable? Is there going to be a war, or is there wars going on? That's something that can balloon up out of nowhere too. You could be sitting here like this. It was been calm for years, and then all of a sudden here it is. We got a border dispute going on again, just out of nothing. I don't know what the reason. Probably some politics behind it somewhere, doing surely politics behind it. So yeah, pick your country and choose it well. If you're going to be there into the late part of your years, you don't want to have to move out of the jungle somewhere in the Philippines because we got guerrilla war coming your direction or something. That's just something you ain't going to want to deal with. So yeah, and it can be hard. A lot of these countries are at war and do have conflicts that boil and broil up every now and then. You know, same. We actually here in Thailand, they have a down in Malaysia, they're having border disputes too. Or civil war too. And it's just it's just a scary situation to be in if you're from another country. Like I'm guessing right now, a lot of the people in Cambodia are shitting bricks a little bit. Right now we got F-16s buzzing in, and Cambodia don't have anything that big. I believe Thailand's got 26 F-16s, and they got a bigger budget, of course. Cambodia really, I'm surprised it started up with them after all the terrible things that happened there in the recent years, recent history past that. But yeah, it's always some politician that's doing something. I'm not trying to get into the politics here and I pick a side. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm hoping things don't escalate to get worse. Like I'm saying, what are those people, expats in Cambodia, thinking right now? They probably got a little bit of trouble on their mind, worrying that this could escalate into a, God forbid, the killing fields again. We don't want to see that. But yeah, it's a scary situation, and it's all over too. It ain't just, and it's in the, well, if you're from America or UK, you're probably pretty safe because you're on islands. But a lot of these other countries have land borders, and they have land border disputes, and they can get real. Just like China and the Philippines. That was a worry on my mind, and a lot of the expats in the Philippines. They hear of China out there taking over their islands, bashing Filipino ships and stuff, and escalating things, ramming ships, trying to take out, which they actually were doing. So yeah, and then if you're happen to wanted to retire in Taiwan, that's another thing. Is China going to come in and take over Taiwan while you're there? And what are you going to have to do? You have to pick up. I always wonder, makes me wonder, what do the expats do? Do you pick up a rifle and help defend the country for them? And I guess probably if you're living there, you better. I would, I guess. If I'm living here, I have to. Yeah, and with the Thais, they have a conscript at 21. They have a lottery where they put their ticket in a lottery barrel, and all the men 21 age of age 21, they pick the lottery number, and if you get a red color, you go to 2 years in the military. If you get a black color, I guess you're exempted from it. I've been seeing a lot of military around too. Just within the past couple of weeks, I've seen a lot of military people in uniform. I've seen a lot of military trucks traveling through or parked in town here. So the military is on the move, and the Thais look like they got it together. The military looks pretty. They're all dressed real nice and look like they have good equipment and everything. They're riding around what looks like deuce and a halfs or something like that. A bunch of them. I even see women military too. So I don't know if they'd get drafted. Probably not, but maybe some join. But yeah, I've seen some female military around town now too. So that's just something to consider, and you really can't plan for where you're going to be and what kind of war is going to break out while you're there or anything. But it's just something, I guess you better be just ready to be able to pack up and move if you had to. You hate to think like that, especially at a family and, if you're having kids or something. And of course, your wife don't want to leave her home country, war or not, probably. So yeah, it could be a scary thing to be in another country while they're having disputes with other countries themselves. So hopefully China or Trump or somebody will get in and de-escalate this one and get it back to peace, and which I'm expecting that'll happen. I can't imagine it going into a full-blown war here, but yeah, something to always consider when you put down your roots as an expat. You might want to check the war history of the place and check what kind of problems could arise from border disputes. Is there any questionable land disputes, border disputes, things of that nature too? Is there any bad blood between the two countries you're moving near? It could make a difference in your well-being and your happiness. Like right now, I'm not too worried about it. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm way on the other side of Thailand. But if I was on that side, that right on the Cambodian border, like Sisaket, they're getting there was some war things happening right around them areas, right in on the borderline. So yeah, some of you guys that are from Thai are right up in that right now too are probably pretty freaked out. I would be too. Probably going to have to leave and get out of that area for a while anyway. Let things calm down. But anyway, that's just my warning to you, and I'm kind of got it in the back of my mind and always have had it there. And I'm sorry to see it blow up again here in Thailand. I was hoping this was a nice, peaceful place to sit back and not have to worry about things like that. But I guess you can never kick back and completely forget everything. Hopefully it gets sorted out quick and no more loss of life. That'd be terrible. So otherwise, I'll stay out of the politics end of it. I'm sure it's all over the news. I don't need to explain and do a video about it. I'm just trying to explain to you guys to be ready for things like that when it does happen. How do you prepare? But you just better have a little plan in the back of your mind what you might have to do someday. Well, that's my thoughts on the situation. Hopefully it gets better. I'll give you a look around before I shut her down. It's a beautiful morning. Hopefully I can go for a swim. Beautiful sunrise. Be sure to check back every day for new uploads. I'll see you in the next one. These people are the trash patrol here. Pick up trash every morning. I see them out here. It's a couple. Better give them some kind of award. Been at it quite a while. See you in the next one.